boy. Oh boy.
Here we go.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the pregame lounge.
Let's go.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. And good night, Serbia. People tuning in, a primetime game, or for our friends across the pond.
Yeah.
Hopefully should be a banger one. Nuggets in Los Angeles after a Saturday night, little afternoon game in Los Angeles. It's only 12:30 in Los Angeles. It's almost a morning game.
I know.
Almost an AM game. We're going to be previewing that one. We're going to be talking about who's the spotlight on. Who are we looking at a little extra closely tonight in this game? We're also going to try to define success for the season. There's 4 games left. What would it mean at this point? What does success even look like? And then, of course, that man over there wearing the Nirvana shirt, his favorite band, is going to give us some bets. But I'm joined
What's
by
one song from Nirvana?
Bruce Springsteen over here.
That's why I just wanted to see if he can.
He doesn't have a song from Nirvana. Come on.
Listen, I did this in hopes that Eric would be on the pregame show. Literally why I wore it today.
You want to show off the shoes? You want to do that? Come on. The people want to
Show off
know.
the
The
shoes,
people
yeah.
want to see. Look at this.
Great, too.
Oh, my God.
I've already clowned him. Don't worry,
my
chat.
goodness.
I've already clowned
These are
him.
nice shoes.
The Bionicles.
They're good shoes.
They're comfortable shoes.
I'm introducing the squad, though. Here, I just called him Bruce Springsteen. That's what it looks like.
I am from New Jersey. I don't
You
know
are?
if you knew that. I'm ready to rock, fellas. No LeBron. I'm locked in. I hope the Nuggets are locked in. Let's get this done.
Do you have a favorite Springsteen song?
No, I don't. Rosalita.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say, everybody has a favorite one.
Yeah,
You don't have to
they're
like him.
all the same
They,
song.
they are all the same
They're
song.
all the same.
Slower, faster, louder, softer. Yeah. That's a great start, man. Coming in hot. Over here, I got Harrison Wind.
I don't know. Born to Run? Anyone?
Yeah.
Anyone?
I can get
Of
into
course, that would be your favorite. Come on.
What do you mean, of course?
Like, that's the most predictable shit I could have possibly just seen. Dev, you got a favorite Springsteen?
Pop that. Is that one?
it. Yes.
That has to be.
It has to be
Off the
one.
latest
It has
record,
to be.
yeah.
Well, that was a great intro right there. All right, game notes. Nuggets, Lakers. I hear there's some big news here. But first,
Yeah.
I'm gonna test Harrison. There's one detail from the pregame alone.
I have no idea.
That
what you're
stands
talking
above
about.
everything else by leaps and bounds. Let's see if Harrison gets it. What's the biggest story from the pregame?
The biggest storyline is Michael Malone was 2 minutes
yeah, we did
to
it,
his
Harrison!
pregame presser.
That's the pro right
Two
there.
game-
That's what
2
I'm
minutes
talking
late to
about.
his presser.
I've never seen it.
I've
never
only
seen
seen
it in
it
my
on
life.
rare occasions, and my hypothesis is because LeBron James is out tonight. He was digging up some Stanley Johnson film from the bowels of his film room to show his team
Whole game plan
to get
is on?
ready for this matchup tonight.
I can't tell you how hyped I am that you got. That was because we just talked about it the other day. Like
I
Malone
know.
is never late. He's never been. And then right as I say that, he's late.
You
I'm
can
like,
tell a lot about a coach by if they're on time or late to their pregame presser.
he was late today, and it was
He
the
was.
weirdest thing.
It was.
He apologized too, right off the bat.
He did.
He knew.
He knew it.
Yeah.
But yeah, LeBron is out tonight. Anthony Davis is playing. And then for the Nuggets, Jeff Green is out tonight, personal reasons. Will Barton is also questionable. Late addition to the injury report, right knee soreness.
Well, first of all, I hope everything's okay with Jeff Green. We know we were wondering. He took that charge the other day in the game, and then was out for personal reasons. We were trying to figure out, like, is the charge being you got hit in the chest, personal reasons? This honestly sounds like something else. So hopefully everything okay with Jeff, and he's back with the team before long. Barton.
Yes. Could probably use a game off.
Yes and no, though. Here's the thing, man, because I've seen people saying this. Like, Zeke Najee's out. Barton, if he's out, Jeff Green's out. Denver doesn't have guys. They don't have guys.
I know, but like, would I rather Will Barton plays through knee soreness and plays like he did last game, or like throw Bryn Forbes out there? I don't know.
Yeah, I feel you. I do.
I mean, we'll see. But that's the whole point, is that all of a sudden Denver gets, like, tiny.
I'm ready for my spotlight.
Tiny.
I gotta wait.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Michael Malone's message to his team ahead of this one. Last 5 games were 25th in defense, giving up 122 points a night. 122 a night. We're giving up 25 points per night off of turnovers, just free points off our own mistakes. And he says he told his guys yesterday the Lakers and what their situation is just like. Look, they just lost to the Pelicans. That's a huge loss. They're going to come into tonight with a lot of desperation. So he wanted to make sure his team is ready for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was also asked about the play-in, and he's been consistent with this. He hates the play-in.
I know. This was a huge talking point.
Yeah. And he said, look, I don't think it makes much sense. He likes it if it went back to the bubble rules where it was only triggered if that team was within X amount of games
Right.
of the 7 seed or X amount of games, of the 6 seed. Because he goes like, look, if we're 15 games up on someone, why the hell would we have to play a play-in if
Right.
we're like the 7? I agree with him. That's kind of ridiculous. And then he was also saying like, look, if Nikola Jokic sprained his ankle in game 82, is our season just over
Right.
after 81 games of data to back up our season?
Right.
So I think he made some good points. I actually agree with him. I think there should be some type of trigger that, would lead to a play-in if the 7, 8, 9, 10 is competitive.
So right now, the Pelicans are 3 games behind the 8 seed, and the Spurs are 5 games behind the 8 seed. So it's kind of close there. But to your point, Denver, right now they are 13 games ahead of the 10 seed.
Yeah.
They are 11 games ahead of the 9 seed. So the fact that one of those teams could pass them, it does suck. But here's the thing: the play-in, and he even referenced this. It's really not about that. It's about making teams try all year. No. Well, money, but the money. No, it's really about. These teams now aren't tanking, because right now you would have the Lakers tanking even harder than they have been lately. The Spurs too, and it's better for the league if they're not. So it sucks. It's not fair, but whatever. Sometimes things are unfair that make a net positive.
Sometimes they are. I don't think we have the starters quite yet. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Oh yeah, who do you think will start in Will Barton's place? Austin Rivers?
I've got to say Austin Rivers, who desperately needs a bounce-back game as well. He was brutal the other night against Minnesota. And then, Austin Rivers for Will Barton.
Davon Reed,
and then
maybe?
Davon Reed, maybe, because you would think the Lakers, well, I don't know. Do they start Dwight Howard?
So I guess we should get into our spotlight now.
Sure.
And I know you're chomping at the bit over here for a spotlight. So who is it you're keyed in on today for this matchup for the Nuggets?
Austin Rivers. Whether Will
Wow.
Barton plays or not, I think, first of all, with no Jeff, there's a good chance Austin Rivers closes this game, depending on how the Lakers do as well. And then, look, we were talking pregame. Is Russ a little washed? Yes. Is he
A little.
Is he still a guy who's going to try to explode and turn the corner on you? And can he do that against Denver's perimeter defense?
Yes.
Probably yes.
Look, the Nuggets have had very bad players kill them before.
Yeah.
This wouldn't be the first time.
So, I know it's not the best strength matchup, but look, who's the number one guy if you need one stop on the perimeter you would turn to for Denver right now? I think it's Austin. So I think he needs a bounce back game, and I think he needs to close tonight, depending on what the Lakers do.
I am worried about. I know people are going to laugh at this. Westbrook's not good right now. He's not a good player. But some of this is the fit of the team, and a lot of that is LeBron. Like, you take LeBron out of the equation, I think it makes the Lakers worse. Don't get me wrong. I think this makes the Lakers weaker. But I think it makes Westbrook stronger, because now you give him Anthony Davis to roll as a huge lob threat. Denver's going to have a lot. You have Dwight Howard and Anthony Davis. There's going to be so much pressure on the rim for the Nuggets. And Westbrook, the perimeter containment, Denver's terrible at this. So to me, I would not be surprised if Russell Westbrook had a great game tonight.
I
like
wouldn't
that.
either.
And that's why I like that spotlight is, to me, that's the guy you can't let eat tonight. Anthony Davis goes off, whatever. I mean, we've seen him go off in losing efforts for 10 years. Dwight Howard, whatever. But, Russell Westbrook cannot be getting where he wants to be right now. Dev, who's your spotlight on?
My spotlight is on DeMarcus Cousins, Boogie Cousins. I feel like this is a really, really important bounce back type of game for him.
Spotlight.
But also with the idea that Dwight Howard's on the other team, and this is a guy that has rattled Jokic at some times.
Yep.
Not even slowing him down or anything, but just giving him different looks and being very, very physical with them. I feel like having a guy like Boogie Cousins, this is what he's there for, is to, be the enforcer, be the big guy. Also, he had such a shitty game, and he's coming off of a bad game, that he has to get himself going. When Denver went on their big run, it was because they had Boogie Cousins playing really well, and he was a good fit. He was part of the team. He was in the rotation and just doing a lot of things. And right now, we haven't been seeing that, in the last couple of games. So I want him to just get right. This is a get-right game for him, and I think that he is going to bounce back.
So mine was Boogie Cousins as well, but I'll pivot to say just the vets, because that was maybe what I was most disappointed about in the Timberwolves game. Biggest game of the season, and you had 3 veterans just no-show.
Yeah.
Austin Rivers, Will Barton, and DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to rely on those 2 guys to at least give you something consistent in the biggest game of the year. That was just so disappointing to me. So I'm looking for those guys to bounce back, and I think Dev's on the money with Cousins. I mean, 5,005 minutes, and he gets a technical on top of that. just an absolutely terrible performance. Like, that's just unacceptable from a guy like him. So those guys all need to bounce back.
Yeah. These are all great ones. Mine's going to sound almost hot takey. Jokic. It's Jokic. Like, to me, he's conquered everybody in the league. The two guys that you could say he maybe hasn't conquered, and some of this is like, we know this in the bubble or in years past. Some of this is like, those guys haven't been healthy. Like, he hasn't gone against Anthony Davis a whole lot in the last 2 years just because Anthony Davis hasn't been healthy. But Anthony Davis is tough. Dwight Howard is tough, and he's got to go against both of them. I think one of the things Denver struggles with, when you talk about on the offensive end, is when they're able to put a smaller guy on Jokic and double with the bigger guy. Well, the Lakers are a rare example of a team that can put a big guy, Dwight Howard, on him and double with a just as big, if not longer, guy in Anthony Davis.
Terrifying.
So, like, this is a tough one-on-one matchup, but it's a really tough one-on-two matchup for Jokic. And look, he's been great. I know he's going to step up, but this is an ultimate challenge for him in going against two very, very good players who are out to get him. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. Dwight Howard hates Jokic.
For some reason.
For some reason. What is the reason?
I don't know.
Yeah, but he goes after him, right?
For some reason.
All right.
I got the starters, too, by the way.
Let's hear him.
Monte, Will Barton is playing and starting. JaMychal Green, Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic for Denver.
JaMychal Green in.
Yeah, JaMychal Green in
So
for
we're
Jeff
going.
Green.
I mean, JaMychal Green. Here's a funny thing. He's starting. JaMychal Green gets in foul trouble. He uses his fouls, and he has the mentality of a bench player. He's not tonight.
Yeah.
The Nuggets kind of need him to play hard, play great, rebound, be tough, but avoid foul trouble, because guess what? Behind him, there's DeMarcus Cousins and nobody else.
Well, I can't imagine. Maybe they did, but I can't imagine the Nuggets expected the Lakers to start this way, because the Lakers are pretty small around Howard and Anthony Davis, Malik Monk, Avery Bradley, and Russell Westbrook. So I guess it's Aaron Gordon on Malik Monk.
JaMychal Green's going to take AD, right?
Yeah, I would guess. We'll see.
This is a weird game. I'll tell you what. Here's the weird things that are going on in this game. Matinee, daytime game, lineup that changed at the last minute with LeBron out. Like, this is hard. This is a hard spot to be in if you're Denver, because I don't know that they have a game plan. And Malone talked about this pregame. It's about what we do, not what they do. But I don't think Denver has like a great game plan for this version of the Lakers, because they weren't preparing for that.
I think this is the first time this Lakers starting five has started together all season too.
You had something
Well, Aaron Gordon's also just an evergreen answer to this question.
of a big.
Oh, I was just gonna say.
Of Spotlight.
Like Spotlight, X Factor. Like, you could throw him. You could answer with him anytime, and it probably applies.
Well, I think it even makes it more difficult for Aaron Gordon, because he had a matchup in this game before LeBron went out. Now that he doesn't have a matchup, he has to pivot, and he's going to be going against guards at this part. So now it makes it like, now he does not know what to do, or maybe he goes like back and just like keeps going on the offensive end. But I felt like this was a game that could have got him right defensively, or at least in the mindset of this is what they brought him here for.
Yeah. I know a lot of people are Will Barton is just like, the hate has gone up. Somebody told me that he deleted his social account yesterday.
Have you check.
Seen? Yeah, you can check, see if he's around. It might be the case. I mean, I've talked about this before. The season is 4 games away. Nothing's changing with the Nuggets. If you're a Nuggets fan, throw your energy and your emotional weight into hoping Will Barton plays well tonight. That's the happiest outcome. Like, there's a weird thing that happens with the internet these days, where you would rather be right in a way that hurts you than wrong, because I think a lot of people almost would rather Barton play bad to be like, I told you, guy, he was bad. He ruined it for the Nuggets. Like, you root for him to have 30 tonight, like that he on 12 shots.
Trade deadline has passed. He's gonna play. Buckle up. Be a fan, maybe, if you want. I mean, look, people can be fans however they want. Not my place to tell them what to do.
Right.
He's not gonna go. He's not going anywhere.
Just telling you for your own mental health here. Let's go to the defining success here. We are 4 games away from the end of the season. I still don't know if this season is a success or not. They're like things that can, like, it feels almost like it could swing so far to like monumental failure to like pretty big success. And so a lot of hangs in the balance. Dev, I'll let you go first on this one. How would you define success for the Nuggets?
A successful season is Jokic winning another MVP. Truly, I really do think that, because I really think that he was already good and he was respected after his big season, but to like follow it up with another monster season and to get MVP and to win as many games and make the playoffs, not having Jamal Murray, not having Michael Porter Jr., and having to do it with guys that other people have like really just pushed to the side. JaMychal Green has been getting pushed to the side. Jeff Green, Austin Rivers, You know, like, and they're starting. They're playing a lot of minutes. So for him to carry them in that way and to, like, be undoubtedly another MVP candidate and also first teamer, I feel like that's a successful season in itself.
Yeah. Well, I'm like Nikola Jokic. I don't care about individual awards. So
Oh, wow.
I don't
Yeah.
care about the MVP.
You're so noble.
It would be great if he won it, but I don't care. I think it's going to be a success kind of no matter what. I mean, they got the chance to win 50 games without Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. for the entire season. I mean, no matter what has happened up until this point, the fact that they're in this position, I think, is a success. But it will be definitely easier to define it as a success if they avoid the play-in. Like, that would be the final note. You can say, okay, nobody can disagree that this is a successful season. If they just get the 6th seed, they're in the playoffs for sure. You know, they at least have a fighting chance in the first round against a Dallas or a Golden State. Like, that would be a huge success.
Yeah, if they can get through this and avoid the play-in, you can say, I mean, first of all, if they avoid the play-in, they probably hit their over on wins in the season, which is crazy to think about.
Yep.
I mean,
2 wins away.
And that number had some of Murray and a lot of Porter in mind. And so some perspective for us is we have to realize what a bloodbath the middle of the West is. There's a lot of really good teams.
Dallas right now is taking it to the Milwaukee Bucks in Milwaukee. They're up 8 with 4 minutes to go. So, like, this is, I mean, Dallas is a team that's right there with Denver. Milwaukee is a team that was fighting for the 1 seed.
So, yeah, I mean, avoid the play-in. Jokic's a back-to-back MVP. And I'll get greedy. I mean, one playoff winning that first-round series, if they get there, would feel like, look, a lot of teams let go of the rope in the last 2 years with everything that happened to them.
Yep.
And right now, Denver hasn't. So if they follow through on that, thumbs up from me.
I'm going to say that there's tiers of success here. I think the first one is obviously just making the playoffs, not the play-in. So to me, it's like if you avoid the play-in, it will be above average. Whereas conversely, if you do go to the play-in, to me, it's like a disaster. Even if you win in the play-in and go, to me, it's like I just can't call it a success, especially given the opportunity the Nuggets had with 15 games, 10 games, and now 4 games to go. Like, they should make it at this point. So if you don't, it will feel like fumbling it at the end.
Sure.
That being said, if they make the playoffs and get swept, to me, it's like, yes, it was above being in the play-in, but it would also be like, hey, man, you have to be able to get there and show something. Even though I think this team is so flawed that I'm worried about them even going up against a team like Dallas and being solvable. I think Denver's very solvable.
Yeah.
So part of me is like, you got to be a little competitive in the play. Even if you don't win the first round, you just have to show. You can't be like the Phoenix series last year where they were down 20 at every halftime, and you're like, wow, this team is just outclassed right now. Yeah. Understandably so. I'm just saying for this year. And then lastly, I think Jamal Murray has to come back for it to be a success.
Wow.
I think he has to come back for it to be a success. The reason being not again, like, I'm not calling anybody out or saying a failure on so-and-so's part. What I'm saying is the injury that happened to Jamal 1 year ago would be made worse if he missed an entire season, meaning Denver would have lost something more than just one, last year's playoffs or this, that. They would lose something more if you don't even get a chance to look at him this season. To me, I'd be like, man, that is an absolute killer. Even if he only comes back for, let's say, 3 games, comes back on Tuesday for 3 games, to me, that would be like, okay, thank God, got it out of the way. We got to look at him. He got to be a part of the closing chapter of this season in a way that's important. So to me, those are the things that make it a success. I know it's kind of a lot, but that's just where it is. I can't, in good faith, say if you punted the whole season for Jamal and Michael Porter that it was like, hey, that doesn't hurt a little extra or cost something down the line.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I disagree on the Jamal point just because, I think it just is what it is. If he comes back next year, if he finishes this season, that doesn't determine if it's a successful season, in my opinion. I mean,
to me, again, you have to understand this isn't like usually when we talk about success or failure, it's what did somebody do? Like, they came up short. It wouldn't be that Jamal came up short if he didn't get back here, but it would be that this season was a failure in that they lost the most important thing, which is just an opportunity to go to battle together and grow from that experience. And you'd have to reset the clock. October would be his first game together. There's just a new hump you have to get over that they wouldn't have cleared this year. And I just feel like it sets everything back just a little bit. By the way, Vogt had a report earlier today that he deleted almost immediately about Jamal Murray.
He deleted it?
You didn't hear about this? Oh, yeah, and basically insinuating that Jamal Murray's very close. He's really been ramping up and getting extra
this
closer.
is the
And then
first
Michael
I'm hearing
Malone
of
called
this.
him.
And then what's that? Yeah, then Michael Malone said, delete that shit.
Yeah.
No, so he was a tweet and then a delete, which is very rare. Here's my theory, and I've said this all along. I always thought Jamal Murray was going to be coming back. If he comes back, he'll be coming back on Tuesday. I have just I mean, I've been wrong. I've had like 3 feelings this year. I'm 0 for 3, so that's a 4th feeling. Take it with like an enormous like chunk of salt here. Not even a grain. But, I think if he comes back, it would be Tuesday.
Well, that seems to be
here-
the consensus.
And if Denver wins tonight and you get the news immediately, like maybe Woj hit send and it was like, no, after the game, not before the game.
Right.
If we get that update on Jamal immediately after the game of, hey, they're eyeing a return for Tuesday or something like that. Lasering in on a return, it would be a pretty big deal. Do you think that's crazy? Especially given
No, I said
new
that's the
information?
consensus. Like, people think he could be coming back Tuesday. If he doesn't come back Tuesday, I think the odds shrink dramatically that he comes back at all.
Do you think we get an update, Dev, after the game today from Woj?
I think it'll be closer, especially if he threw it out there. Like Woj has done this, where he's the one that's right. He talks to people. Maybe he didn't talk to the right people, but he knows. So
Woj
I do
is
feel
right.
like
Yes.
Well, I'm saying like, even if he did jump the gun on it, maybe he shouldn't have said it at that time. But he is gonna like come back, and it's gonna come back around. So I do think that we get an update either today or probably tomorrow.
Right. So we'll wait and see. Today, it's funny. Every game, I just feel like the emotional swings are so big. Last game, it was the Nuggets could seal their fate basically in the playoffs. That was a big one. Tonight, you see another chance to sort of move closer to sealing your fate and maybe get an update. We'll wait and see what happens. All right. Everybody's favorite moment. Opening up DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook.
Can Giannis score the ball? I've got a live bet sitting here.
You got a live bet here sitting here. I'm telling you. Here's another one. This was the lead-in. This is the MVP day, right, on Sunday on ABC. Actually, this game's on ESPN. Luka is about to outplay and get the win against Giannis and the Bucks, which would also greatly diminish Milwaukee's chances of being the 1 seed. If they lose this one, they'll be 2 games behind Miami with 3 games to go. So that's part of it. And then also just this is like a showcase game, right? That you're on ABC, not just ESPN.
Course,
it's a showcase. So we'll see what happens. All right, Dev, what do we got?
Denver comes in the game as 6-point favorites. It was 3.5 before the LeBron news.
Wow.
Which is
It's
really
a big
wild.
line, man.
3 though. LeBron does everything for this team. Like, he really does. We haven't seen him with Anthony Davis in quite some time, so that makes it a little bit difficult. They even have Anthony Davis's numbers like super high, as if he hasn't been sitting the bench and going through injuries. But six points. It's also a over-under of 231. So they do think it's going to be high scoring. They have been watching Denver's defense, which has been non-existent.
That's tough.
That's a lot. I don't like either. If I had to lean on something, I would probably go Nuggets -6. I really do think that this is a game for them. Lakers aren't good. Like, even if they're in desperation
bad
mode, it's
team.
Important to
it's
remember.
Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis. And
Also, man, I know they should be in desperation mode. Are they in desperation? Do they want to make the play-in? I don't think they do.
regardless, it's going to be deemed as an unsuccessful season. Like, no matter what, if they make the playoffs or the play-in,
Massively unsuccessful.
it's probably scarier to make the playoffs and then lose the first game. Like, it's just going to be tough no matter what. So I don't think this Lakers team is good at all. I just don't. They finally put up some lines for Denver's players all day. I think they were like just seeing what the starting lineup and things were. A player that like stands out for me. I mean, they have Bones Highland. They have his numbers are finally higher. 14.5 is his line. He hasn't really been on the last game. He didn't knock down the 3 ball.
I know.
As much.
Bounce back game for him.
But he's
man.
also scoring. Like he is scoring in different ways. I do like the 14.5 for him.
It's a lot.
So I'll throw that in. That is a lot, but
It's a lot of points.
I really do think that he does need a bounce back. And also, Lakers suck, and also their second unit is really struggling. I think he's looking forward to his opportunity to play against the Lakers, and it's on a big game. So I'll throw Bones in there.
14.5, huh?
14.5. I would probably like it more in a
Single game parlay?
Yeah, in a single game parlay, just because you
All
can
right.
tweak it a little bit more.
All right.
But yeah, I think this is a Bones game. Jokic, of course.
They don't have him in the single game parlay for points. How annoying is that?
They really didn't have.
Killing
a lot
me,
of
DraftKings.
lines. Jokic rebounds, 13.5.
Man, this is a tough rebounding game, bro.
That's what I was just looking at. He has Anthony Davis who's going to keep him off the boards. He has
Yeah.
Dwight Howard
Yeah.
that's going to try to keep him off
Even
the
Carmelo
boards.
Anthony can rebound.
And they put it super high. The only thing that works in his favor is that it's a fast-paced game. So,
Yeah.
so where we at on rebounds? Let's do it together.
I'm not touching it. I never bet unders. Come on, man. I can't do that for the Nuggets.
Yeah, I
don't-
can't bet Jokic rebounds today.
I do think that Russell Westbrook's going to get his points, rebounds, and assists is too low. It's 32.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I do think that he easily gets that. I just do. I will lock that in.
Okay.
I hate that lock.
I will lock that in.
I'm nervous for this game, man. This is a tough yoke game. You got to have. It's funny because it's a tough yoke game and it's an easy everybody else game, and that's
Yeah.
like an uncomfortable place to be in.
Yeah.
It should be easy for every other player. Will any of them step up to the
I like
challenge?
betting on Bones because he had a really off shooting game last night, but I felt like he brought it otherwise. Like he played
Course.
with passion. He brought energy. He wanted to be out there, which you couldn't say the same for some other guys. He's at least going to be out there, play heavy minutes, and get the shots up. You know,
Yeah.
at least he'll give you a shot there.
All right, let's build a same game.
All right,
Let's do
I'm gonna
it.
go to the only thing I think they have for Bones is going to be threes. So let me see if they got Bones threes
But
on
that's
here.
2.5.
No, they don't have it. They don't have any Bones lines for single game. I'm staying
They
away from
don't.
single game
They have
parlay.
points for him.
They do have points.
Yeah, I'm looking at them.
Oh, what are they on the single game parlay?
Yeah, you can go down to 13 plus.
Alrighty,
At minus
13,
180.
huh? All right, let me scroll over here. That's what I'll take. Bones. Oh, there they just added him. 12.5. All right, I might even take the threes. This might be a Bones Highland. Oh, they just added him. The
I'll take
threes,
two threes.
Yeah, I'll take 2 threes, 2 plus 3. So we're at minus 140. We need one more stat. Is there one more thing we want to throw in this? The third leg of a parlay.
Aaron Gordon, some points.
Man, I might take Aaron Gordon 13.5 over.
Tough night to finish around the rim in theory.
Yeah, he doesn't always like to finish around the rim.
That's a great point, Harrison.
Yeah, let's take it. What is the points at? Can we get
13.5 if we.
Can we get like a plus 12 or 12 plus?
No, 13.5 is the lowest.
Let's go it. Let's go it.
All right, that's our single game parlay. Gets us up to plus 150. Not my
No, you can go
favorite
12
bet,
plus.
not the worst bet. So Bones 12.5, Bones 2 threes, Aaron Gordon 13.5. Hey man, maybe he'll be out there against Carmelo Anthony for a little bit. That should be easy, easy to get
Yeah.
around him. You'd think.
Try to get that matchup as much as possible.
try to get as much
Man,
as
you
possible.
want to see a superstar's flaws? Just bet on them to hit the over, and when they don't, you turn into like radio.
AG's been great, man. Though lately, I got to give him credit. He's been
Oh, I'm
attacking.
talking about Giannis. Get a bag.
Oh,
dog.
yeah.
Get a bag.
Get a bag. Oh my God, you're
I'm
turning
kidding.
into
Bagless.
bag. Twitter is in the chat. Is entered the chat. All right, guys. Nuggets Lakers. You know what time it is. We'll see you guys on the other side. Hit that like button on the way out.